Today is Wednesday, May 10th. I'm Jessica, also known as Silver or Silver Luna 2112 there on Ravelry. A big thank you to everyone who's joining me for the first time. I appreciate you giving me a shot. Another quick thank you to everyone who's actually been joining me time and time again. I really do appreciate you coming by. So, thank you for all coming by to hang out in my little knitting dreamland, if you will, just for a little bit anyway. So, a lot has happened over the past few weeks, and a lot that's going to be a very busy couple weeks for myself as well. So, let's get started. Grab your craft and beverage of choice, and here we go. So, the more you know. So let me start out by saying that I did get a bunch of extra hours that I'm going to be doing for our Mother's Day rush. So if I sound a little bit tired and off today, that's part of the reason, and I really do apologize. But I just want to get that out there so you know. Um, I also just wanted to say that I'm sorry that I wasn't able to get all of the links working properly in the show notes for the last episode. I did not realize I did not finish that part of it until, oh, I don't know, I was getting ready for this podcast, hence why I'm delayed a little bit. But that's neither here nor there. You probably won't see this until later anywho's, all right? But anyway, I did get everything fixed. I have no idea what happened. To be honest, I got about halfway through, and the site that I used to post the show notes just said, nope, forget it, forget you. You're putting too many links at one time, and just stopped working. Well, I fought it for a little while, and I fought through it, and I made it work for you, like I mentioned before. So, if you've been listening to my podcast for a bit, I had the chance to test knit a wonderful shawl by Boston Jen called the Emlyn May shawl. Well, since we talked last, it finally went live in Ravelry. And to celebrate this, the pattern is actually only $3 up until May 15th. So if you want that pattern, now is the best time to go out and get that. I'll actually link it directly into the podcast notes. And one last note that's not entirely knitting related. I've I've decided that I have a giveaway that I want to give to a couple of I want to give a free couple of Ravelry patterns to a few of my lucky Instagram followers for my birthday because that's kind of how I roll. So each pattern is going to be $10 or under of your choice. So if you aren't following me on Instagram, make sure you do by then, as I will be using a random number generator to pick two lucky followers. And I'm going to be doing that on 5/18. So if you want in, get on it. All right. So, since it is the first podcast in May, I will go over the whole details of the Java along. So, and I will also be putting a timestamp at the bottom. So, if you don't feel like you want to listen through the entire details again, you can go ahead and skip to that timestamp. So, here we go. Going on to the Java along details. It is basically, and this is a very, very nice description of it. It's a KAL that's running all year long. It's going to be premiering all of the wonderful patterns of CC Almond, also, or Java Pearl designs there on Ravelry, as well as anything that reminds you essentially of the Geeky Girls Knit podcast. Anything that Dammy has said, I mean, anything that they do. Because they're awesome. They're awesome individuals, and we need to support them and their endeavors. Basically, anything that has to do with them at all, it's not going to be that hard to convince me that it belongs in the FO thread. So, um, any works in progress that you have are allowed as long as they actually are finished up anytime in the year 2017. You can feel free to polydip in any other KALs as long as it actually fits in with their rules as well. I don't mind at all. Each project you finish and post does count as one entry into the giveaway. You also must be a member of the Silver's Dreamland podcast group there on Ravelry to participate. And if you post any pictures on the social medias using the hashtag SDL Java along, I can definitely find your works in progress and your FOs. Who knows? You may actually be entered into a drawing for Random Active Patterning Days, which there is a couple more coming up besides the one for my birthday, so be on the lookout. I have been plotting and planning, can you tell? So this week we do have a new prize that is going into the prize pool. It is a what I'm calling the coffee bag from Molly Klein Designs. Oh, absolutely love this bag, and I'm sorry that it's blurry. To be honest, I took 6 different photos, and this is the best one. Apparently, I have a not so steady hand. Wow, words. I'm also going to be giving away one Java Pearl design every month during the course of this along. I've decided it's not just going to be a knit along, it's just going to be an along in general, just to get your collection started. And CC has even donated several to give away as well. As promised, I will also be giving away a digital copy of CC's Coffee with CC book. So make sure you post to win. And then I am just as a gentle reminder, until I finish every single book, every single pattern in her book myself, because this is kind of how the madness started, is when I'm going to be giving away this copy. So you have plenty of time. Just make sure you get in at least one FO, finished object. I will also be giving away a copy of Cece and Dammy's second book, which is the Coffee with Cece and Dammy 2 book. The winners will also be pulled from the FO thread only. Just as a note on this, we didn't actually have anyone enter any FOs this past month, so I have decided to wait until I finish maybe one, maybe two of the patterns in the book. So you do have still a little bit of time. Just be aware if I do go with the one option, I am more than halfway through that first pair. I'd say you have until the beginning of June at least to get your FOs in on this wonderful prize. I do understand that Stash Dash hiatus is strong with many, and many will be holding out projects until the start date, which I completely understand. Trust me on that. That's pretty much why I've been a fail recently at my own KL. Anyway, um, we do have also two other prizes donated by Nimbus on Ravelry. She is actually the genius behind Pandia's Jewels. Ugh, absolutely love her colors. This one I actually bought for you all. It is a hand-dyed yarn on her snug base. It is actually called the Highlands colorway. Oh, and a wonderful person that she is. She donated a set of Harlequin stitch markers for the KAL as well. Oh, my geeky heart. Oh, anyway, um, I also will going to note that there will be many other prizes later on the year. I'll be announcing them basically as they come into the house, and as soon as I get them in the mail. Sorry. And if you are a crafter and maker and you would like to donate any crafty items, please just get in touch with me at Silver's Dreamland Podcast at gmail.com, or you can even PM me there on Ravelry. Once again, SilverLuna2112, and I will most definitely love to be able to give those away. All right, so I just wanted to say the winners of last month have not claimed their prizes as of yet. Please make sure to PM me to claim them if you haven't already. I'm also going to be burning you directly on Facebook message as well, just so that way you know. And I'll also be mentioning you again in the show notes from last time as well. All right. Once again, like I mentioned before, no one has actually entered FOs this month. So I ran a random number generator on our group members, just like I did a little while ago. So without further ado, this week's winner is Snotine, and that's spelled Snotestine. I'll actually put it down below. That way you can read that as well. And I'll be earburning her directly. I think I'm not going to wait until the next podcast to go ahead and just say, hey, by the way, you've won. Yay! Yeah, so anyway, now You've heard me mention, oh, I don't know how many times, Stash Dash. Since it is the first of the month, I'm just going to go over quickly. The dates on this one are from May 26th to August 20th. Those are the official start dates. The rules are now officially being put up into the Nick Girls group as well. So you can always go ahead and check those out. They're going to be doing a direct what do you call it? They're going to be putting in a video like they did last year. So I'll also be linking you to that once that finally comes out. It might not be until next week, just so you know. Um, Let's see. And my goal this year, I'm actually, like I mentioned several times, I didn't quite make my 15K last year, so I'm going to be going at it with a vengeance this year. So those of you that don't know, 15K is in meters, and so that roughly translates to about 16,404 yards. I'm going to be documenting everything I'm knitting for Stash Dash in a post on my blog, which is www.dreamysilver2112.com. It will be in a post called Stash Dash the Third, just in case you don't see it right away. And basically, the only reason that you wouldn't see it right away is if I have had the chance to read an updated or a book that I would really like to review. But normally, I'll have it up at the very top. That way you can find it a lot easier. Oh, goodness. All right, let me just take a quick sip here. Mm, orange tea, y'all. Best thing ever. Anyway, let us move on to my favorite things. So there are several things that are going to be on this list today. Most specifically, the first one is family time. Which is pretty much should be a pretty much a staple under my favorite things, you would think, right? But yeah, I don't see my family as much as I probably should. Sorry, Mom. Sorry, Celine. Anyway, MTI and I actually got together with basically my parents and his at Tavern 42 in Plantsville, which is kind of a local place near us. It's very hard to get reservations, and we've been trying for quite a while with them as well to get those in. To say the very least, the wait was definitely worth it. We did have some great food, we had some great drinks, and even better company. We're gonna have to get back there soon. I promise you we'll get there as soon as we possibly can. The other thing that I wanted to mention in favorite things is, well, just a few things that made me go down the rabbit hole of purchasing. The first thing I want to mention, I did get a shipment from Coconuts. I ordered this and actually received it in under 6 days, which is freaking amazing. If you can't tell by the picture, I did get what is called a knitter's keeper. It is very easily the best thing I've ever heard of. It's kind of like a bracelet with a little bit of a metal plate on top. And on that metal plate, you can hold all of your metal stitch markers, cable needles, and everything like that. I have been using this pretty much constantly since I got it, especially on one particular project, which I will mention below. Let's just put it this way. I just saw this and immediately wanted to order one for myself. Yeah, it's been pretty constantly on one project, and it does seem to make that whole project faster, as you'll see later on. The other thing that came in the mail yesterday, actually, were two bits of prettiness. The first one was a Beauty and the Beast bag. Oh, absolutely gorgeous, let me tell you. And look at the inside print on that. It totally matches. And as you see in the picture, I did get a bag of Bentley's orange spice. Ugh, I already consumed it. The tea that I'm drinking right now is kind of the second part of the bag, I guess you can say. Absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. Anyway, and the other thing that did come in the mail was, as showed you before, was that coffee bag. See, that's still a little blurry, but you can see what I mean. Bad photography. Bad photography alert. Anyway, also just so you know, there are several other things headed my way in the mail. Three different shipments, in fact. These should be arriving within the next couple days. There are some things in there that are for you, my awesome knitters, but mostly they're for me. MTI had asked me specifically what I wanted for my birthday, and he gave me the choice of what I wanted. So I decided I'm going to order that. That was pretty cool of him because he knows that I would prefer to get yarn and make something for him as opposed to just getting something that's going to sit around. So that's very cool of him, very supportive. Love you, MTI. I know you're listening. But yeah, so anyway, I'll talk more about those things that are coming in the mail once they arrive. Yes. Sorry, don't want to get distracted by the project. All right. So I do have three finished things today. They fall into two category. The first, technically, they're not finished, but I'm putting them into stash dash hiatus, so I'm calling them the stopping points. The first one in this category is the watermelon lesson 3 socks. Look at that, y'all. Oh, they're so gorgeous. I finished that second sock up to that point in under a week. And just to remind you, that particular sock was the Toe Up Socks with a Difference pattern by Wendy D. Johnson. And I was using the Watermelon Single Knit Sock Blank by Gail's Art. Oh, absolutely gorgeous. I'm sorry, I can't stop looking at them. I used two US 216-inch circular needles as well. The sock blocker that you're seeing in the background is actually from the Loopy U. I kind of used that for majority of my socks and even my husband's socks, which I'm grateful for. I don't have to worry about different sizing on that either. Anyway, the second thing that I have in this category, I'm calling it'll give you wings. So you can see the stopping point at the very tippity top, but both of them sweet. Anyway, the pattern is the CC's Vanilla Cappuccino Socks by CC Almond, also known as Java Pearl. This is the Woolmey's Pure Wings on My Feet base. Oh my God, look at that color. I'm sorry, look at that colorway, man. I can't stop staring at it either. Anyway, this one was a little bit more difficult. I used four different sets of needles to go through the socks, mostly because I'm kind of playing and trying to figure out what my gauge is. I did use a size US 2 9-inch circulars for everything up until about the heel. The 1.5s I used for from there to the top of the heel to the cuff. Wow, words. I am so sorry. I also used a size US 2 16-inch circulars, two of them actually, and as well as the 1.5-inch circulars as well for the toes and cuffs. You should kind of get used to that. I think I'm gonna like. I kind of like the switch, but not really at the same time. But anyway, I digress. So the other thing that I have been working on and that I finished are the 2017 washcloths that I've done. I've actually done three of them, and started on the fourth. I've actually decided that I'm only going to mention this at the beginning of the month essentially, as I'm going to be doing quite a bit of them this year. So I'll be doing one every Saturday and Sunday in the rest of the year. So for the month of May, here is the details of my washcloth project. The pattern is the Grandma's Favorite Dishcloth by Ruth Slate. The pattern, the yarn that I'm currently using, sorry, I'm laughing. Mario decided to jump up and lick my hair, so it kind of tickled. Anyway, I'm using the Bernat cotton yarn, ha, in the Lollipop colorway. I am using a size US 6 Marbles 24-inch circulars, and the bag that I have decided to use for the rest of the year for these is my Harry Potter spells bag. Ah, absolutely love the bag, and I don't have a picture of it handy. That's so bad of me. I'll make sure to pop it in here. Okay, so let us move on to half objects. You ready for this? I finished the first of the Deruta Loves Hot Chocolate with green marshmallows. So I have a half object or a hoe, and the second sock is almost to the heel. Oh, I'm so jealous I don't get to keep these, but my friend that wanted them, she's totally worth it. Anyway, this is the Hot Chocolate with Pink Marshmallows by CC Ellman, also known as Java Pro. The yarn is Nitpick Stroll Tonal in the Mountain Pass colorway. Like I said, absolutely gorgeous. I'm doing this on a size US 2 16-inch circulars, my usual method. The bag that I decided to use for this one, uh, it's the Purple Haunted Mansion bag by Slip Stitch Studios. Oh, absolutely gorgeous. I'm sorry. I can't. I'm looking at it right now. I just can't stop staring at my wonderfulness. I really should be concentrating on what I'm doing, right? But in this day and age, who doesn't do a million things at once, right? So the second half object or hoe that I have is the wibbly wobbly timey wimey socks. Pardon me. Pardon me. Yes, I do try to use different languages in my stuff. I don't know why. Anyway, I have a hoe and I did cast on the second toe, which is right there. The pattern is the CC's Vanilla Cappuccino Socks, also by CC Almond. Um, Obviously, since Stash Dash is coming up, I'm holding on to it and trying to slow down and working on it. I really, really, really want to work on them, though. I'm staring at it. I'm staring at the sock, and I just, I want it. I want it. Anyway, the yarn that I'm using is Into the World Paku, or spelled Pakokku. Sorry, I can't pronounce things, but I'll also put it down below as well. In the Wibbly Wobbly Timey Wimey colorway. Oh, absolutely gorgeous colors. Also, on this one, I am using the US 2 16-inch Trigu red lace needles for the toes and cuffs, as well as a size US 2 on 9-inch circulars for the rest, because I found that I really like using the 9-inch circulars, especially for vanilla heels. But I have been trying with some patterning, as you'll see later. Um, this project is being held in my purple bird bag by Slip Stitch Studios. Oh, another drink, sorry. I'm a little dry today. Okay, so moving on to what I am currently working on, or whips. All right, guys, I had one cast on this time. I do apologize. Well, no, I don't apologize. I'm actually participating in another along held by the Geeky Girls and Jilly of the Knitted Broomstick. I just want to let you know it is the awesomest Al, spelled A-L, for along, because they don't want to just stick with knitting alongs anymore. It's just they can knit, crochet, spin, weave. Wow, anything that has to do with space or the galaxy or anything like that. Like, so that could be anything from Doctor Who stuff. It could be, just stars and moons and so many different patterns out there that, just go with it, go with it, go with it. All the rules and everything will be in their podcast notes and stuff as well. So you should participate, especially if you want to participate in the Java along too. Just polydip, polydip, polydip. I'm telling you. Wow. Did I say polydip enough? How about one more time? You can polydip in MyCal as well as theirs if you decide to do one of CC's wonderful patterns, especially the Doctor Who ones. So anyway, I digress and I am rambling. The pattern that I cast on for this is the Galaxy Beyond the Clouds um, shawl that I'm working on. It's the Hitchhiker Beyond by Beyond by Martina Bem. I said, "Oh, I don't want to do another Hitchhiker." And then here it is. Oh, Hitchhiker Beyond. Beyond. Whoa. Okay, let me give it a try. So here I go. For this one, the yarns, I'm going to be using 6 different skeins of Knit Picks Alpaca Cloud. They are going to be held double, so it'll be pretty fun. I started with Darcy and Algernon. I think that's how I'm pronouncing that right. I'll write it underneath just to make sure. Um, I am using a size US 4 40-inch marble circus needles. Oh, absolutely beauteous. And since, I got that Beauty and the Beast bag in the mail, I decided I was going to put this project in it. I swear it's an awesome pairing. Like the pink that's in this one kind of matches it directly. And yes, the Algernon is pretty much a purplish pink. It's absolutely gorgeous. The second thing I've been working on for quite a little while. This is the Doctor is the Answer. This is for the police box MCAL because just knit along. It's an awesome looking cowl. I'm going to tell you, I've seen the spoiler photos. Absolutely gorgeous. It looks absolutely gorgeous. The last clue was actually released on the 6th, which is this past Saturday. The full pattern should be released later this month. So, just in case you would like to knit it up, I'll let you know when it officially comes out. However, you can always just say that you're participating in the KAL and get the pattern that way too. So, the MCAL information can be found in the discussion board, which I'll link in the show notes directly. The pattern itself is the Police Box MCAL by Monica Evans, also known as Mary Clusters. They're on Ravelry. I am using the Lorna's Laces shepherd sock, the bigger on the inside, and the other colors for the stranded colorwork sections are in the Lorna's Laces string quintet. Sorry, quintet selection there. Oh, absolutely gorgeous. I'm currently working on the third section, which is the Daleks, which is awesome. Sorry to anyone who has not gotten to that part. Spoilers! Anyway, I am using a size US 3 cubic Splatina 24-inch circular needles. They do recommend size 3, so I went with that. Using my blue TARDIS bag by Addicted to Sock Knitting. Another bag I absolutely adore. The next thing that I'm working on, I am calling it Dreamy Love. I'm actually working on it right now. So I am up to 120 stitches plus per section. It is done in 3 different sections. This is the Yowza Weight Shawl number 2 by Susan B. Anderson. Oh, absolutely gorgeous. I can't. I'm looking at it in my lap. The color that you're seeing on the screen is a lot brighter than what the color actually is. It's a deeper red. I am currently on the second of 2 skeins that I'm putting into this. Usually the weight shawls only call for 1 Yowza skein. In case you hadn't figured out, it is the Miss Babs Yowza You Gotta Love Me colorway. Like I said, I absolutely can't stop staring at it. This particular is shawl is being knit on a size US 9 40-inch Taigu red lace needles, and if you can't tell, it's already way beyond the capacity of the needles right now, which I don't mind at all. I'm kind of using it as a blanket right now. It's a little chilly with the air conditioning on in the house, though I don't know why the air conditioner is on as we have clouds rolling in right now. Anyway, this is being held in my purple TARDIS 2 skein bag by Slip Stitch Studios. Like I said, I'm gonna stop staring at it, guys. I'm getting distracted. The next thing that I have been working on the past couple weeks is my Bella Coffee shawl. I did go through a couple of these sections. I went from the green section onto the gray sections. I can't wait. I'm on the third rotation of this pattern, and I kind of wish there was more yarn so I can keep going and make a bigger shawl. But I'm sure the person that I'm making this for will appreciate it no matter how big I get it. The pattern itself is also a CC pattern. It's the Coffee Date. The three different colors I'm using are both from the Plucky Knitter. The first one is Bellow Putty in My Hands. Second one is a Plucky single colorway, Give a Hoot. And the third is Primo Fingering in the Enchantment colorway. Uh, can you tell essentially why I picked those colors, regardless of what base they were on? It's hysterical. I'm sorry. I can't help it. I'm using a size US 3 40-inch Chaigu red lace needles. I cannot wait. And it's beyond the capacity of the needles as well. So we'll see. We'll see. I'm hoping to do another coffee date in more yarn too. So I can't get enough of this pattern. You have done an awesome job, Cece. I know you may not listen, but you do. You do an awesome job with your patterns. And you may believe me or you may not, but you really do. Absolutely adore it. This particular item or project is in my exploding TARDIS bag. Boy, I love it. The next thing that I have been working on is what I am calling Where Are You Leading Me, Mario? Where you lead, I will follow. I am just past the first socks heel. What you're seeing is the red lace 12, 16-inch, sorry, red lace circulars on the size US 2. I'm using two of them, kind of like I do before. I have noticed that with the heel, the red lace cable is not pliable enough for me and the way I knit. So the next one I'm probably going to just switch over to 16, another pair of 16-inch circulars just for that reason. And it makes it easier to do the heel. If you hadn't been able to figure out, the pattern name is Where You Lead, I Will Follow, also another CC pattern, because Java along, hello. The yarn color is called the Old Muddy River Bridge Knit-a-thon. So this is definitely a this is definitely a Gilmore Girls inspired knit here. The yarn itself is actually from the Inner Yarn Zen company. And I am using my Supernatural bag by Slip Stitch Studios. Oh, it's absolutely gorgeous. I don't. You're gonna hate me, but I only have one bag for the Gilmore Girls, and it's being used by the another item that is is related to that. Anyway, I like I said, this is like a tangential kind of episode today, huh? This is what happens when yours truly doesn't get enough sleep, right? Um, and also a little bit of knitting EDD happens, hence why these other two happened. I got a hinkling to start working on what I'm calling zombie moons. I did get 8 pattern rotations, which isn't that hard to do, but it's such an easy knit when my brain power is zilch. Um, this is the Yowza Weight Shawl number 4 by Susan B. Anderson. This is something that I picked up that I started for last year's Stash Dash and never got more than a couple rotations of the pattern done. This is the Zombie Honeymoon colorway of a Yowza skein, being done on a size US 8 40-inch Chaigu red lace needles in a knitting sheep bag by Slip Stitch Studios. See that pattern and everything was meant to be. Um, yeah, that's not right. That's not a. No, I'm looking at it. That's not a red lace needles. Sorry, guys. That's not a red lace needles. That's actually the what do you call? I had whatever. They're not the red lace needles. I wrote it in my notes wrong. They are the Susan Bates needles that I've had for a little while. The last thing that I've been working on is called Bringing the Boom. I did 2 different pattern rotations. You can't really see the difference, but it's getting there. It's getting a little bit longer. The pattern is called Copper Boom by Ashley Hoggard. This is also a Gilmore Girls inspired quote. Spoiler. Anyway, I'm using a Red Heart Super Saver color in the Peruvian print is the colorway. It's also a size US 8 Susan Bates 30-inch circular needle, and it is being done. And And I have this housed in my Dalek bag. Daleks. All right. Okay. Okay. So, what you're reading or listening to, Silver? Well, I have had Hamilton pretty much on repeat. It's actually been about 70% of my driving time. It is what inspired me to finish up all my notes really quickly. I love that musical. I've also been listening to Metallica's Master of Puppets and Ride the Lightning just for my okay, work is kind of ticked me off being nice. Let's, bang it out with metal. Why not? Because as you do, it's just what you do. I also been listening to Pink's Misunderstood a little bit as well as the Dream Theater's Greatest Hits album, and for a little bit of variety, Aladdin, Beauty and the Beast, and Hercules soundtracks, as you do, because whatever, right? I've also been doing quite a bit of reading as well. I have been listening to, well, I finished listening to Wicked Abyss by Kresley Cole, read by Robert Petkoff. This is the newest in her Immortals After Dark series. Basically, the King of Hell does indeed meet his match in this one. Is a very good book. I couldn't resist. Another try at Miss Cole. Trust me, you did an awesome job. Ms. I don't even know. I can't speculate. Anyway, the next thing I wrote that I read, because most of the books that I read are just kind of not really. I don't know. They're not noteworthy enough. I'm sorry to the authors, but it's true. Mostly because I read smut essentially. Anyway, the one that I am going to mention is One Hot Daddy by Kira Blakely. It's one of her debut novels, I suppose you can say. It was a very quick and cute little read before I started reading the rest of the books I'm going to mention, mostly because I needed a little bit of a palate cleanser. Um, so yeah, the next thing that I've been reading it's a series called the Edgers Family. The first book, Kidnapped. The second one was Hunted. The third one was Sieged, and the last one was Vanished by Suzanne Farrell. I want to let you know there's a fifth book that I'm currently reading, but you didn't hear from that from me. No, anyway, I'll just give you a sneaky peek at what I'm reading. I'm currently reading the fifth one, which is actually, let me scroll down, is called Exposed. So far, so good, and I cannot wait to get back to that one. I guess what I've been currently slash finished reading, like I mentioned several times before, I have been reading through the complete Sherlock Holmes, which is being read to me by Simon Vance. I did finish parts 5 and 6 because the Audible version that I have breaks it down into 7 parts to make the download easier, and that's pretty much a quote. And that they say at the end of every part, so you know. Anyway, I have under 7 hours left to listen, and it places me at about 90% of the book, which is about time as I started reading this back in January. And I got to look at the date and needed to move. Hence why I went through as many stories as I possibly could this time around. So the stories that I read through were The Adventure of Charles Augustine Milverton, sorry, The Adventure of the Six Napoleons, The Adventures of the Three Students, sorry, The Golden Pince Nez, also Missing Three Quarter, Abbey Grange, Second Stain, Wisteria Lodge, Red Cardboard Box, Red Circle, Bruce Partington Plans, The Adventures of the Dying Detective, The Disappearance of Lady Frances Carfax, The Adventure of the Devil's Foot, His Last Bow, and The Valley of Fear. Those I'm all done with. What I am currently reading is The Adventure of the Mazarin Stone. That one so far so good. I started about maybe 5 minutes of it, and then since I had been reading for 10 hours or listening to it for 10 hours straight, I was done. Sorry. I love Sherlock Holmes and I love Simon Mance. Don't get me wrong. I can't do more than like 10 hours at a time. Most of the time, to get an indicator, I only read maybe like half an hour to an hour before work every day during the weekends when I go to work. But I needed to catch up. So so I should just stop saying that word, Drinking game. Every time Jessica says the word so, right? Especially today. So, what you watching, Silver? Quite a bit, actually. I have been watching Smallville quite a bit this past couple weeks. I am on to season 2, episode 20. And I noticed apparently there are a lot of actors that I love that were actually in very early on Smallville before they went on to their own series. For example, you know that guy that played Dr. Beckett in Stargate Atlantis? Yeah. Yeah, he was definitely on that one or two episodes. I think it was just one. But I did comment that on Instagram as soon as I saw that. I'm like, wait, what? Mind blown. And it totally was. The other thing that I've been watching TV shows wise is Doctor Who. I have watched episode 2 and 3 since the last time we talked. I haven't actually watched Saturday's episode yet. I'll let you know what I think about it once I do. Most of the time, what happens is I will watch each episode once as it sort of happens and then go back and watch them all in one go and do reviews and things from there. So, no spoilers, please. I really do want to kind of go in with that with virgin eyes, I suppose you can say. The first time through, especially. I also got in the mindset that I wanted to watch One for the Money as well, which is based on the Janet Evangelist book. Yeah, because I needed something light to watch, as you do. Also caught up with quite a bit of my podcast this week. The Geeky Girls also SSS Beta ended, but I did catch up on all of those episodes. Yarn Hoarder had an episode out. I did watch that, as well as the Knit Girls episodes. The Stuck in It Zombies came back after a while, which I was glad to see them. I was kind of worried and kind of like seeing them. They make me laugh. Also, Round the Twist was back this week too. I watched her episode. I am glad she's doing okay, regardless. She is taking this week off as well. So, and of course, the piece de resistance. I watched all the way through Stitching the High Notes. Oh, I absolutely love you, Joanne. You're awesome. You keep me entertained. And congratulations on your podiversary. We are not far behind. You are not far ahead of me, which is awesome. Anyway, I am pretty social. You can find me on our Ravelry board, which is Silver's Dreamland podcast. I am also Silver Luna 2112 there on Ravelry. On Facebook, Silver's Dreamland can be found at www.facebook.com/Silver's Dreamland. On Instagram, I am both Silver's Treats and Silver's Dreamland. On Twitter, I am at Silver's Knitting. I wanted to let you know I do tend to read through all messages as soon as I possibly can. If you do not hear from me within 24 hours, please feel free to email me directly at silversdreamland@gmail.com. All right, so I have rambled on for long enough. I know your time is valuable. Just please feel free to join in any discussion or even start your own there on the Ravelry board. I don't bite, I promise. So thank you again for all those that have made it through my long-winded ramblings today. Please stay tuned for episode 25 on May 25th. Wow, I just realized. Well, anyway, until next time, happy crafting. Better, much better. Know your name. What's your name? Sandra. You can be a new name. Me, I'm the damn who